Well, the SmackDown right before the Royal Rumble was really nothing to write home about because it was extremely boring. Like, honestly, you can completely miss this episode and you wouldn't miss a thing. We open up with Cody Rhodes telling everybody that he's going to be in the Royal Rumble and he's looking to get his WWE Championship back via winning the Royal Rumble, which was kind of funny because there was a point saying that he might be a three-time Royal Rumble winner, and the crowd booed him at that point. Randy eventually comes out saying he is looking for number 15, his 15th world championship, and he plans to get his shot via the Royal Rumble, and he has no problem throwing Cody Rhodes over the top rope. And then Jey Uso comes out, and I completely skipped his entrance because I didn't want to watch it. So I think I might have missed anything he might have said because by the time I had skipped what I thought might have been his entrance, Sami Zayn comes out. And Sami Zayn says tomorrow he's going to beat Drew McIntyre and finally win the one title that has eluded him his entire career, the WWE Championship. Afterwards, the Vision comes out. They basically say, none of you have a shot at winning anything because Braun Breaker is going to win it all. Nick Aldis comes out and says, tonight's main event will be an 8-man tag team match, The Vision versus Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn. And honestly, I don't think I could have cared any less for a main event in my life. That does not sound fun to watch, if I'm being completely honest. I might just be being a little bit of a hater, but that match does nothing for me, and I don't think it does anything to forward any storylines. Anyways, WWE goes straight into our first match right after I believe what was a commercial break, and we get the main reason to watch SmackDown, the United States Open Challenge. We have champion Carmelo Hayes versus Ray Phoenix in a pretty good fast-paced match. Now, I say this match was only pretty good because it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad. There was this awesome, insane DDT that I believe Carmelo Hayes did to Ray Phoenix off the top rope. Looked absolutely devastating. Carmelo Hayes retains, and he is still our United States Championship or champion. I can't wait for next week. See who he faces. Right after this, we get a backstage segment between Ilya Dragunov and The Miz, and Ilya is pissed off at The Miz because of what The Miz did the last week. If you missed last week, Miz pushed Ilya Dragunov off the top rope, making him lose his match against Carmelo Hayes, which was also for the United States Championship. So we got this like triangle of hate going on because Carmelo Hayes doesn't really care for The Miz. The Miz doesn't really care for Carmelo Hayes, and to get Ilya to dislike to get Ilya to dislike Carmelo, the Miz is trying to get Ilya to believe that Carmelo's the one that asked him to do it. It's this big ploy to get Ilya mad. Anyways, because of this, it is said tonight there will be a match between Ilya Dragunov and The Miz. We get another backstage segment with R-Truth spinning the little thing. I don't know what that thing is called. Whatever that thing is called, R-Truth was spinning it. Damian Priest comes up and Nick Aldis is like, hey man, you're in the Royal Rumble. Did you get your number yet? Damian Priest is like, no. He puts his hand in the thing, grabs it, gets a real low number. And I'm assuming Damian Priest is either going to be number 1 or 2 in the Royal Rumble. I don't really like when they do that, when they basically say like, oh, I got a bad number or this, that, and it. Just say like, hey, he's in the Royal Rumble, get his number, and let him have just a small reaction. I don't need it. I don't need to know he's going to be number 1 or number 2. We get a small interview from Drew McIntyre saying he will do anything to win against Sami Zayn, but is Sami Zayn willing to do the same? I guess only time will tell. I truly believe that Drew McIntyre is going to absolutely demolish Sami Zayn. I can't see it going any other way. Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky are in a backstage segment saying that, like, no matter who wins the Royal Rumble, we will remain friends. They even bring up how they fought at WrestleMania the previous year, and they're friends. Kiana James and Julia come out saying that Julia is going to win and become a triple champion, women's United States champion, women's tag team champion alongside Kiana James, and of course, WWE women's champion. So I don't know. They're really pushing this Julia storyline. I don't really think she's gonna win. I would like her to win, but I don't see her winning. And then Nia Jax and Lash Legend come out, and they basically start bickering at each other and yelling, and it's like okay, this is going to be the tag division for a while. Next, we finally get an in ring segment where Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss come out and they basically start saying, or Charlotte goes, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble just like I did last year. And Alexa's like, well, actually, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. And we're starting to see more tension between Charlotte and Alexa. But before their bickering can get too heated, Judgment Day come out and basically say like, we're gonna come down to the ring and kick your butt, and also one of us is gonna win the Royal Rumble. And they say, oh, sorry, we're not gonna beat you up. They start walking to the back. Nick Aldis once again comes out and says, hey, how about you have a match like right now? Pick any either two of you out of the three and go fight. So we then have a match. And usually I've been loving the Judgment Day segments and tag team matches they've been having, but this one did not hit like at all. I guess the only cool part is when Stephanie Vaquer came out and I think she just punched Raquel or pushed her, I can't remember, into somebody, which caused them to lose the match. And yeah, we move on from this because I'm kind of sick of the whole Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss thing. Just if I'm so sick of WWE just holding on to something, if you're gonna break it off, break it off. Don't do like you did Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, where you just keep going on and on and on and on and on and on, and then you don't even do anything with it. You didn't do anything with it. We get another backstage segment promo with Jordan Grace saying that she is going to win the Royal Rumble, go on to face Jade and win the championship at WrestleMania. And Jade starts beating the crap out of her, tries to tell her that you ain't winning no Rumble, you ain't winning no title. Jordan Grace comes back at her, starts beating her up. They get split up by security. End of segment. I've said this for the past few weeks now. I'm not feeling this whole Jordan Grace, Jade Cargill thing. Hopefully, it's a lot better than what I'm anticipating, but I foresee the future is not too grand when it comes to these two. Next on the card, we get Axiom versus Johnny Gargano. But before Johnny can get to the ring, Nick Aldis stops him, says, hey, because of last week, Candice LeRae can't be at ringside whatsoever. She's forbidden to be there. And also, if Axiom wins, he gets his mask back. So that way we can finally end this somewhat fun, but also somewhat dumb feud. Not much happens this match. It really wasn't. It was an all right match. It wasn't really anything to talk about. Axiom wins by what does he do? Johnny Gargano rips off Axiom's masks, but Axiom gets hold of the old mask that Johnny has been holding on to for the past few weeks. Puts it back on, hits him with his finisher. 1, 2, 3, Axiom wins. That is the end of this feud. Hopefully and thankfully. Now we get a whole bunch of like back to back segments. We have Dragunov going up to Carmelo Hayes saying, like, look, I don't know what it is between you and the Miz. I really don't want any part of that. But just know I am coming back for that United States Championship. And there will be no interference next time. Right after this, we get Trick Williams saying that he's going to be part of the Royal Rumble. He, of course, plans on winning it, just like everybody else and their mother. And, he says lemon pepper steppers. So we move on from that. AJ Styles comes out saying that he will win at the Royal Rumble. He will not be retiring at the Royal Rumble because he still wants to face the likes of one more time at least Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. There was someone else that I can't remember now, but then Gunther comes out saying he's going to make AJ Styles tap out. And AJ's like, well, last time we fought, you were the one who tapped out. And I get they have to hype the match for the Royal Rumble, but this was, once again, just nothing. It's everything they said has already been said. To me, this should have been skipped. And right after that, we go right back to another backstage promo. A lot of backstage in this episode of SmackDown, where we get the new one of the new tag team champions and Tama Tonga speaking with Shinsuke Nakamura, saying that they're going to have a match next week. Basically, Tama Tonga says that Shinsuke should have his Shinsuke Sayonara tour, just like John Cena had his tour. He's basically saying, Shinsuke, it's time to retire, time to put up the boots, call it a day. And Shinsuke is basically like, no, I'll show you. I still have what it takes to be here, still be wrestling next week. And I am looking forward to this match. The way they've built this feud up hasn't been big, but it doesn't feel like it needs to. There feels like there's enough history between these two in order to keep it interesting. Next, for the second to last match of the night, we have Ilya Dragunov versus The Miz. And this is probably the hardest hitting match that I've ever seen The Miz in. Once again, not much to say here. Ilya Dragunov wins, and The Miz's losing streak goes to 245 or something like that at this point. We get a promo with Solo Sikoa and MFTs. Solo Sikoa stating that he still has the Wyatt Six's lantern and that he has brought the World Tag Team Champions or the WWE Tag Team Champions back to his family, back to the MFTs. And not only has that happened, but he will go on to win the Royal Rumble, to go on to WrestleMania, to bring the WWE Championship back to his family. I'm loving this whole new Solo Sokoa thing. I kind of wish this Wyatt Six stuff would end because right after that, or not, I shouldn't say right after, they kind of break over what the NFTs are saying to bring out the Wyatt Six. And the Wyatt Six basically say, you don't know who you're messing with. We're going to get not only the lantern back, but the tag titles back. I thought this feud was over. Maybe they have something left in the tank that could be interesting, but I'm hoping it's over sooner rather than later. Next, we finally get our 8-man tag team match of the Vision, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, and Logan Paul versus Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, and Jey Uso. Uh, like I said, this SmackDown did not have a lot. Neither did this match. Not much happened in the match. That is up until Drew McIntyre decides to run in and DQ the match by beating the crap out of Sami Zayn. As he's beating the crap out of Sami Zayn, Jacob Fatu's music hit. Drew is looking towards the stage, just waiting for him to come out. He comes up from behind him, starts beating him up. Cody gets back into the mix. They start beating on each other and all just everything just breaks loose. It gets bad. Eventually, everyone gets beat up except for Sami Zayn, who is left almost in the ring alone with the WWE Championship laying at his feet. He's looking at the crowd, he's looking down at the championship. He goes to grab it, and another hand pops in the frame, grabbing it by the other end, and it's Cody Rhodes holding it. These two kind of look at each other, and they're like, so this is how it's going to be. They turn and look the other way. Braun Breaker spears them to end this episode of SmackDown. And boy, oh boy, was it a boring episode of SmackDown. It was pretty much people just saying, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. I can't wait for tomorrow. At this point, they should have just skipped SmackDown. I know they can't because of obligations, and they want to keep it the longest running series alongside Monday Night Raw. But man, this was such a boring episode of SmackDown. I don't know how they could have made it better, but it was so boring and bad. I'm giving it 1 out of 5 stars. This is the worst SmackDown of the year so far. Please try better next time, WWE. Anyway, that's my spoiler review of the January 30th, 2026 edition of SmackDown. 1 out of 5. If you enjoyed, go down below, hit the like button. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this SmackDown. Maybe you have a better opinion of me. I would love to read it if you do. And while you're down there, you can hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell so you can know every single time this channel uploads. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you again next time.